morning and welcome to the Trading Success Blueprint, the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Danny and I'll give you the webinar today. Before we will begin, as always, we're going to go through a quick sound check to make sure that the sound is in a proper level and that the screen here is visible for everybody. So please use the question section to comment that the sound is okay for you and obviously that you can see the chart, and then we can carry on with ease. In the meantime, I will explain how the webinar is going to happen. So initially, thank you so much, Rafael and Ozzy. Very good. Okay, Maria, excellent. So first, we will have a quick introduction to the company, and this specifically for the platform, to show you what functions we have that you can enjoy. And on the second part, it will be a bit more comprehensive about the functions. We'll have a nice guide through about the toolbar over here and some other things. Okay, the logic behind basic trading essentials. I like to call it this way. Yeah, and lastly, maybe analysis. We'll see how time goes by and if we will cover everything that we are requested. So perhaps we'll have a little discussion about analysis on a nutshell. Okay. Any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only. It should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Also, guys, you should know that the webinar is recorded. It means that if you missed a part or you didn't understand something on the first try or the second try or just any other reason you wish to see the webinar in your own time, you may find it in our channel on YouTube on Ava Trades channel. Should be uploaded later today. Usually it's somewhere between a day or two or even today, hopefully. Okay, so I'm gonna go and make sure that the webinar is recorded as I just said, and then we will begin. So I'll be right back. Thank you very much. Okay, it seems like everything is okay, and we're gonna hit the road. First, I think we should get ourselves up. There we go. Okay, so like I said, this is the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Danny. Feel free to ask whatever you want. It's a live webinar. It's recorded, but it's live presently. Okay, so we're just going to begin. As many of you know, the company exists since 2006. We have 9 licenses currently, 9 licenses worldwide. Our customer service here is at the bottom left of the screen. As you can see chat with us or the WhatsApp version, whatever you prefer. And to get to here, all you have to do is just to log in with your email and password. You don't have to install anything, to download anything, just the way things are. If you log in, you're supposed to see this lovely interface. Otherwise, you can contact the customer service through cs@avatrade.com, and they will make it look like that, because this is, like I said, after you log into the website with your email and password. Okay, they're going to take care of everything's related to the customer service inquiries. And on the other hand, we have a senior account manager. Can provide you with assistance regarding trading inquiries. Could be calculations, strategies, thinking of a plan, anything's related to trading. Senior account manager is the go-to place. And yeah, that's about the customer service and the senior account manager. I'm going to expand a little bit about the platforms. This is the usually, I just want to say on a nutshell that the senior account manager is after you start moving with the account. Okay, after you funded the account and the account gets verified, you can ask for a senior account manager. If it doesn't happen automatically, you can ask for assignment. Okay, now I'm going to expand a little bit about the platforms. This is, like I said, called a web trader. Okay, we have it in another version called AvaGo. That's on the app. What we're looking at right now may be the best, the desktop version, but it offers I can say 90% of the functions that we have in here. What I meant is the app offers very similar functions to what we have here, but some things you can't find it, okay, on the AvaGo, so you can see it on the desktop version like me. Okay, I'm gonna go through that in a minute. We also have the MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5, which I guess there is no really need to explain too thoroughly about that. Whoever knows those platforms knows what they are. And I'm just going to say perhaps that MetaTrader 5 might offer some more variety of assets, and perhaps it's more suitable for wealthy diversification. Maybe if you're trading multiple different assets, maybe MT5 could be more manageable, but it's just my personal opinion, so I might be wrong. Beside that, we have our social and our options. Okay, just a word about our social. So the idea is social media trading. You can find other traders there to follow to get an idea of how a strategy can look like. From just observing somebody, you can get his trades for you to choose if you want to execute the same or just to take notes about that. And you can copy somebody as well. So you can follow somebody and you can copy somebody. The difference is if you, just a second guys, excuse me. Sorry, I needed some water. So as I was saying, the Ava Social lets you either follow somebody or copy somebody, and the difference is between getting the information from the person that you're following or executing automatically by linking your account to his. I can probably say that to follow somebody before copying might be advisable. It's not mandatory, it's for you to decide, but that's the way I would do it. And other options, I can just say that whoever trades options, other options is equipped with many facilities to help you estimate what can be the potential outcome and the surroundings. That's really important for options trader. So you can definitely download it, see it for yourself. I highly recommend it. It's extremely innovative and helpful. Okay. Actually, we're gonna proceed with this guy. So I think I'm gonna put it at the bottom here. Okay. So we're gonna just, on a nutshell, explain about some functions that we have here. The way that I brought the sidebar here is by clicking sell or buy. So as you can see, that's simple as that. I know that some people used to see a list of assets here. I'm not going to be able to see that unless I'm going to click on the two tiny arrows to the right. You see what it does? It just folds down the screen. Okay, and as an addition, I can look for assets manually, and as an addition, I have a search field here, which I can just type what I want. Okay, as an example, we have an indicator that it's applied here, which I don't want anybody to be confused by that, so I got rid of that. Okay, I'll explain how I did it and the rest of it in the next segment. The next thing that I'm going to show you is we're going to go down from the signals down. There are some functions, like I said in the beginning, that can only be found on the WebTrader and the AvaGo. Okay, one of them is the signals here, the signal section. There are two ways to enjoy signals by the Trading Central. One of them is by clicking on the tiny blue lightning icon here, or just going to the signals section itself, and then you can find the signals. What exactly signals? What exactly are signals? So let's, as an example, click on that, and we're going to see that they're pre-analyzed the support and resistance levels. I don't want to go too far with support and resistance currently, but I think I don't really have a choice. Otherwise, you can't really understand the meaning of the signal unless you understand what's happening here. So the signals, as you can see, is made with certain levels on the chart that it can potentially get to and get you profit or, God forbid, loss. Okay, and you can see that it's summarized with take profit and stop loss. Okay, so the idea when I take a buy is obviously that the asset will go higher. If I take a sell, that it will go lower. But if I took a buy and it go against me, if I took a buy and it goes down in this particular case, I'll have a loss. And if I took a sell and it goes up, I'll have a loss. So the way that this signal is made is there are already levels predetermined with take profit and stop loss. What exactly take profit and stop loss are, you're probably asking. Those are pending orders that sits on the chart. And what happens when it gets to them is they trigger automatically and they do what they need to do. So the take profit takes the profit, closes the position and take the profit, and the stop loss stops the position and stopping you from losing more. Now, the idea here is to let you choose between a buy scenario and a sell scenario. So in a buy scenario, your take profit will be higher and the stop loss will be lower, and the sell scenario will be vice versa. Now, the idea with support and resistance is to let you understand where you're standing in the chart with a scenario that is described. That means, before I carry on, just to sharpen something quickly, you see that the validity here is daily, and the time frame that we're looking at is different. And the way that I knew it is because I can see anything farther than probably 73.5. I can't even see past that. So, and you can see that the levels are in here is 74.75, right? So that means that this is daily picture. Obviously, it's farther away from the chart, and I'm looking very like with a magnify, right? So I have to change it to actually see the picture that is here, right? Otherwise, I can't see past those levels. Okay, and in this case, like I said, the signal already did it for me. I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. And I see that the levels are here, 74.5 and 75.1, 0.10. Okay, if I want to be more accurate, I can just click it and change the coordinates to what I want, 73.1. It's going to jump exactly to the price that I wish. Same apply with this guy. There you go. Okay, let's suppose that I decided to go with a buy scenario. Okay, now I want you to understand that this explanation is only because we are on a webinar. If I wanted to launch this signal, it would take me, let me just show you, okay? Let's suppose we went down to here, we clicked, okay, let's count. 1, 2, let's make it 3 if I really want to expand the chart, okay? Time frame, we said if I wanted to analyze, there we go. Everything is already here. I have the take profit 73.55. Okay, that's interesting. Might not want to keep it this way. Okay, now this is one of the reasons that I'm showing it to you this way. Okay, you want to look into the levels. Just a second, something doesn't make sense. Okay, because you see there is also something we must notice, which is the signals production time. You see when it was produced, those numbers are for the levels that we had in here, right? But it already moved. This is why some signals are not going to be available anymore. You're going to go down the list and you're going to see a signal already expired. Why do you think that happens? Because the idea with the signals is that they are analyzed to the moment. They are analyzed to the price we're having now with the scenario according to what we have now with certain expectations. So you also want to make sure that the take profit and stop loss are to your satisfaction. Could be great what's here, could be great, but you also want to double check. Okay, you can move it farther away, you can move it closer if you want. It's up to you to decide. But launching a signal doesn't take more than 20 seconds as I showed you. Look how simple that is. I can take something else if I want. Then sell scenario, it's already lined up. Pretty straightforward. Let's go down the list. And here we have the, unless anybody has any question about that. Even though it's quite basic, but still, anybody has any questions about the signal section or the signals themselves? No questions? No, it doesn't cost anything. Yeah. Thank you, Phil, for the question. Michael, show again, but I showed. Is there anything in particular that I can show you? James, how accurate the signals are. James, this is an excellent question. Thank you. I don't want to determine an exact number because I can't. But I can sharpen the point that I've just mentioned, right? There is a production time. Think about a nice loaf coming out of the oven, right? When it's coming out right away, it's tasty and it's fresh. Okay, but if you take the same loaf after half an hour or 1 hour, you put it outside, it's not going to be as good, right? I hope that my metaphor somehow assisted you understand, but I can determine a number how accurate they are. It depends. It depends on certain things. Where did you click automatically place? Oh, I just clicked on the scenario that I wanted. I now understood you, Michael. Sorry. Let's just go with that. Okay, so the only thing I did is I just clicked sell. You see, it happened by itself. Or let's take something else for the sake of the discussion. Maybe Dow Jones. Okay, or I can just take a buy. Look, it does it by itself. I did nothing here. I just clicked on the buy. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. Now there, how can I depend on the signal in my analysis to decide buy or sell? But the question is now there. First of all, thank you for the wonderful question. But this is again the way to decide buy or sell is really depending on the levels that you see. So if you're looking at the signal, you know what? Let's keep this one up, or we're just gonna pick something else. Let's go with oil this time, not Brent. The sell or buy are depending on the levels that you see. If you see something that, oh, let me change it. Also, this is kind of crucial, guys. You don't want to look at minutes when it's daily because you're not going to see the same numbers, and that could be frustrating. So if it's daily, you want it to be daily, right? Now about the sell and the buy, you're going to look at the levels and you're going to decide. Of course, there is no way for you to there is no way for us to advise if it's a sell or a buy scenario. What's more advisable? It's for you to decide. You can maneuver it while it's moving. You can move the buy and the sell. You can close the position. It's not mandatory. Are these signals provided throughout all the sessions like Asian, London, and New York? Again, you can look into that. Okay, everything is written here. I'm not going to delay on that. even on a minute, because the webinar is not about signals. It's about giving you guys the tools. But you can look into that, James. Okay, and everybody else, if you want to look into that, the way that they are produced and so on. I'm not gonna get into that now. Thank you for the input, though. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. Okay, we're gonna click here on the news, and we're gonna see what's happening down here. So we set the signals are support and resistance based. Basically technical analysis embedded in the chart that we can enjoy take profit and stop loss automatically if we're using the signal. Okay, and in here we're gonna have nice fundamental analysis pieces depending on what we choose. So this one is general, this one is for forex, this one is for stocks, commodities. The beauty about that is it shows you at the bottom what the relevancy is. You see, this one is you see, it shows you that this is for the Asian market. Two things. In here, as an example, you have two pairs, American versus the Japanese, and the pound versus the dollar. Okay, if you click on the X, it throws you back to here. And oh, I shouldn't have. There we go. And we're gonna go a little another one down. So we have the signals. We went through that. In here we have the news. We went through that. You can also, you see, it's everything here is categorized pretty well. In here we have the economic calendar, which I'm going to show you. It's also fundamental analysis reference. Okay, and unlike the signals, and in here very similarly, I can choose by the flags which one is relevant for me. So if I want to stick with the pound, I'm going to click on the pound, and I'm going to exclude the US out of that. And then I'm going to just see what's related to the pound with how much of an impact it has. There is a question here. Okay. This is a question, Adrian, thank you. This is a question you must address your senior account manager, because to show you the answer to what you're asking, I must show you that on the screen, which I can't for now. So ask your senior account manager. I do suggest you'll send him a screenshot to understand the situation a bit better, and I'm sure he can explain it to you quite swiftly. Doesn't sound like a big issue. Okay, so of course, with a pleasure. So what we're looking at right here is pretty simple. I don't want to delay about that too much. Everything here is explained quite straightforward. We have the last result. We have what we expect to happen. We have what actually happens. This will only occur when the event is over, right? Things that are yet to come, you're not going to get the actual, obviously, and how big of an impact we have. So if it's this high, low, and medium, obviously significant occasions, they're going to have the high, and the low will be for things that we don't really expect to shake the market too much. Yeah, that's more or less about the basic functions that we have here, some unique things. I think I want to show you EVA Protect, but I'm not sure if we have the time, so we're just going to do it on a nutshell with what about silver? Let's try silver. Well, we already have some things on it. Okay, the product that I'm going to show you is pretty simple. It's called EVA Protect. The way that it works is it lets you protect the position for a certain time frame. So if I hit the box, it's going to let me choose from 1 hour up to 2 days. You remember that I've explained in the beginning that if I take something for a buy, my ambition is it will go higher. That means 22.6 to 23.6 or 22.6 to 21.6. Okay, is an example. And in this scenario, let's suppose that I have just 100 ounces of silver. Okay, if it goes up by $1, I should make 100 or lose 100. Okay, this is how the take profit and the stop loss looks like when they're not through a signal, when you market by yourself. So the take profit, we're going to change that to 23.6. And in here, we're going to go 21.6. Okay, we are covered for the max. That's going to cost us $25 versus 100 profit, 100 profit or loss. Okay, this is basically how it works. I don't know if you noticed, but when I increase the length of my coverage, I also increase the fee. Same apply with the lot size. So if I'll take something bigger, like 500 is an example, so my fee will increase accordingly. And yeah, that's basically the way that it works. I'm just gonna say that the coverage, and when the coverage ends, I'm not gonna get the partial amount after the coverage ends. That means that if I decided to keep this position for a week, when I only covered it for 2 days, it's my responsibility to close it, or I'm not gonna get the funds back. The way that it works is it lets you protect the position. Whatever you lost during the coverage, you get back. Okay, that's the meaning of the protection. You protect it for a certain time, and when it expires, you get the money back. I have to tell you though that you may not expand 1 day to another day or 2 days to another 2 days. We're not be able to do that. Okay, whatever I determine will have to be from the get-go. Yeah, I think this is pretty much what I want to say about Overprotect, beside the fact that it's for currencies, silver, gold. Yeah, currencies, gold, and silver, basically. Do we have any questions about anything that I've said so far? Anything about either this product or the product that I showed to the left? Anything specific, guys, that wasn't fully? Yeah, of course. No, there is no limit. Tanya is asking if there is a limit. There is no limit. As far as I'm concerned, you can use Ava Protect as you wish, as many times as you want. Okay. Yeah, at the same time. What I was referred to is the same time. You can use Ava Protect. You can protect several positions. You don't have to protect just one. Let's carry on. Okay, for the time being, I think we pretty much covered everything we needed in the intro, and then we can carry on with these to the second segment and down to the business. I think we're gonna stick with silver for the time being. Let me just look at the dailies. Okay. All right. Well, that looks very interesting, but you know what? No, let's keep it this way. Let's keep silver as it is. Okay, we're gonna carry on with silver. Let me just clean the slate and put silver up here. Yeah, the way that I compose position, guys, is through a nice little order that you can use for your self if you want. It's not mandatory. You guys know how it works. Oh, before that, I want to go through the toolbar just so we can enjoy the chart to its full extent. As you can see, if I go with my hand across the chart, there is no information from the candles, which I'm sure will be odd for some people. The reason is, guys, that this crosshair is not equipped with the crosshair. Yeah, I know how it sounds. You see here the third icon to the right from the search bar is the crosshair. I'm just gonna click it and I'm gonna put the crosshair on, and now with the cross, when I hover across the candles, suddenly I have the information here. Quite simple, right? But by default, it comes like this, and then there is nothing on it. Okay, then. Yeah, I can also change this one we saw, right? We went through that. It's to change the signals. There is a game here with the crosshair, with the wheel, right? Between the mouse. See if I click it, I can see more time frames. Otherwise, I'm just gonna see 2 hours. Yeah, but there is more down. Search bar, candlesticks, right? Why must I use the candlesticks and not the line? I know I always ask that, always asking that, but I would like to show that because it's, believe it or not, it could be very, very helpful analysis wise. Okay, guys, why using the candles and not the line? This is the line. Describes pretty easily what's going on here. There is up, right, up, then down, down again. Yeah, so what's the difference between the line to the candles? You see here those thin lines coming out of the candles? See, with the line, we don't have that. We don't have that. We just have till this point, and we basically, it ends here. But with the candles, we also have the spikes, and we can see the top. Okay, I know it doesn't sound like a lot now, but oh, there we go. It's exactly what I wanted to show you. So look, if I capture that level, which I'm sure for people who are more intermediate will understand the importance. You see this thin line out of the candle, which obviously, if we spoke about support and resistance, I just wanna, don't worry, guys. I'll try and do it very slow, but it's very important for me that you'll understand that part, because again, it could be very handy. Support and resistance. There are some questions here. Michael, you say, oh, tells the opening and the closing price. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Zakia, you're asking, please advise how to set up to buy, sell stop loss. Not entirely sure. Yes, of course there is a recording. There is a recording in our YouTube channel. You can just go to our YouTube and see it again if you want. In maybe, yeah, of course. Okay, so what I was saying, guys, what I was about to explain about support and resistance. So resistance will be probably my roof. Okay, we're gonna exclude a part to the left, right. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it this way. You see, there are certain levels here indicating where silver can potentially turn around. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but 23.076 versus 23.141, it's where it broke the resistance, but it went back. Now, why is that part even important? Which I can see on the line, by the way, right? I don't even have that. Why is that so important to know that? Who cares about the way that it looks, right? So somebody has any idea? What is it showing? What is it showing us? This thing. Does it have any importancy? Does it mean anything? This thing here. Retracement. Okay, George. Thank you. Retracement means what? What does it mean, retracement? Michael, a downtrend. Could be. But George, something interesting you wrote, retracement. Where did it retreat from? Sellers pushing down. Okay. So guys, the idea here, this thin line is where the candle has been, right? So that means that in this particular hour, what happened is, let me go back to minutes, just a second. No, hold on. Let's try 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay, then. So you see what happened in this particular moment is it went back so significantly and then it went down, right? And that shows us that it couldn't break the resistance any further. But something exceptional did happen here. Otherwise, it wouldn't move like this, right? Deem new trader. Just a second. We'll have to use MetaTrader 5. You can use MT5, Nadim, if you want, but this is the web trader, which we're looking at. Is there a course? Guys, I'll speak about, you know what? Yeah, I'll answer those questions, but then I have to proceed. Otherwise, we're going to lose the momentum. And I don't want the people to be confused. Okay, so regarding the courses, you can see here Zakia. You see there are here tutorials and academy. You can click on tutorials. It's going to show me some nice things here that I can go through. And there is here the academy. Okay, it's going to take me to the academy and show me some more educational content. Nadim, regarding your question, let me read it again. I'll try and understand. Just to ask you, for trading, we have to use MetaTrader 5. It's up for you to decide. I wrote in the beginning we have MT4, MT5, and the web trader. It's for you to. Oh, I think what you're asking is if it correlates, and if this is your question, so the answer is yes. You can trade here and see it on MT5, and you can trade on MT5 and see it in here. And MT4, you can trade on MT4 and see it here, and you can trade in here and see it on MT4. If this was your question, so yeah. And thank me for thank you for reminding me that. Okay. So as I've explained, you see in here when you see this candle and then it followed by that candle, it could show potential retracement, which actually happened. Okay, then let's carry on with ease. Just a second. I'll go back to what were we looking at? I think daily, right? Okay. So we're gonna keep going to the right. In here we have different layouts if we really want to look at two things at the same time. See, here we have Nasdaq. Here we have silver. You got to make sure though the execution window is showing you what you want, and for that you have to click sell or buy. Then it's going to bring you what's relevant on the chart, and in here sell or buy. You see I'm clicking on it, I'm marking it, it becomes different. Yeah, we're going to go back to silver, I think. Okay, and in here we're going to add an indicator in a minute. And in here we have the nice inventory that I kept placing things on the chart. Why use candlesticks and not a line? Yeah, we already went through that. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have 4 ingredients here which we can fulfill and will potentially understand what's happening here, right? As a beginner, I'm looking at some numbers. I have no understanding where anything is happening. Okay, all right, but all I know that the price here is for silver is 22.689 per ounce. Okay, the price per unit, and I know that I want to make money with silver. That's what I know. Now, the first thing that I would like to think of is a goal. Why? Because if I took a sell, let's suppose I look at the big bearish trend here, right? Look at the very big bearish trend that I potentially think that silver can go down somehow, right? Now, let's suppose that I did take a sell and silver went down and I'm making profits. How can I know when I'm going to close the position if I didn't think of a number? Any number. 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000, I need some number to grasp. Because if I plan to make $1,000 on this position, and when I take a sell and I see that it goes down, I see that I'm making 1,000, I can close the position. Okay? Or I can keep it, that depends. But a goal helps me as part of my guidelines. So in my goal, I'm truly going to put 1,000, I think. Let's go with 700, 700, 500. Let's go with 750, right? 750 is a nice number to play with. And the time left, why must I choose the time left? Why can't I say I want to make $750 sometime? When are you planning on making this? Sometime. Sometime, maybe in a year, maybe in a month, maybe in a day. Why must I choose the time frame that I want to focus? Anybody can think of a reason? For analysis. Thank you, Mitchell. For analysis. Okay, so this is one of the reasons, right? I need to know what I'm analyzing. If I want to keep this position for a week and I'm looking at minutes, is this any good? Is this even helpful? Look how many minutes I have. I'll plan on keeping this for a week. Might be helpful, but not as relevant. So I'm going to go back to day. I can analyze days, weeks, okay? What is in the range? We're going to speak about the range in a second. So the time, let's go with 1 week for the time being, and we also have the movements. How can I approximate, how can I think of the potential movement for silver to go down? Let's suppose that I aim silver to get to here, 22.050. Is that realistic or not? The now price is 22.679, and the gold price is, this is a sell. Let's go for a sell. Is that average movement? What do you think, guys? You think it will happen in a week? Let's switch to weeks, see what the weekly is doing here. Okay, from 22 down to 22.50. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Is this realistic, or am I aiming too far? Any any reply, guys? I want to know any idea. Do you think that from 22 to 22.05 is it realistic? Okay, so Michael, you are voting too far. Anybody else? Abdul, nobody can know. Okay. No other, yes, it is. Okay, Rafael also say yes. Many yeses. Abdul, you're the only one who wrote that nobody can know. Okay. All of you are right, including Abdul. However, there is a way for us to just apply something that indicates the potential, the average. And it's called average true range, right? We're working very commonly with this indicator. So the average true range, I'm just going to drag it, and then I'm going to change it to yellow. I don't know why. I'm just going to change it to yellow and click here, save. And there we have it. We now know that the potential average, the actual average for silver, the true average range is 1.3511. So tell me, is it in the range or is it out of the range? So in here, to in here, we have approximately this much. Okay, versus the average, which is what do you think, guys? Is it in the range or out of the range? Below the range. Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. Below the range. You guys notice that it's less than the average, right? You notice that it's less than the average. The average is down here, guys, 1.35. So that will be approximately here, right? Okay, let's use a calculator. I think this one, I don't want to make any mistake. To 2132, 2132. That's here somewhere. Yeah. So this is my range. This is the average range. Okay, and we picked here. We picked 22.050. So we're going to change it to green because we know that it's in the range. And we're going to calculate now what comes next. Okay, now, how many units, how much silver we need to sell from 22.2 to 2250. That's like we said, that's per unit. Okay, to make $700. In the meantime, I'm gonna put the solution down here. 700 divided by half. How much is that, guys? Who knows? So we're gonna try and put right. So if I do it this way, it should work, right? Let's try and place 22 point. We are with the cell, yeah. 350. 350. Just a second. I want to make sure that I didn't do any mistake. 350. I want to understand the logic of that. If we had the bare minimum, 0.01, right? And it goes half a dollar down, we're gonna make 50. Is that correct? According to this formula. Oh, sorry, I didn't write it down. Goal divided by movements equals units. Yeah. So if this would have been $1, could have made 700. Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's of course. It could be confusing. I mean, I understand. Yeah. So this is not exactly half, so it's going to show us something different. It's not exactly half, so we're going to move it a little bit higher to here. It's messing with us still, but I know what I want, so I'm going to just put it manually. And we're going to change it to the actual number. Okay. Yeah. So I'll put that down here. Okay. Excellent. So that means I need double as much from the number that I'm aiming for, because it's half a dollar and it's not $1. So in this case, okay, we're making even more, but never mind that for now. Okay, that's the way that the calculation works. Just going to change that to 0679. Yeah. Okay. So in this, oh, sorry, what I missed is this tiny little one. There we go. 22.179. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Although it keeps on moving, but let's assume that it's this way. This is exactly, by the way, what I spoke about in the beginning with the signals. I'm doing the analysis to the price that we're having now. I may be done in a minute or two, but the price might not be the same. Does that mean that my numbers are not correct? No, they are correct. It's fine. It's just the market that's moving, so I have to adjust on the go. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so the composition is pretty much complete. Okay, we have the how many units, how much. Yeah, of course. You can see the rest on the recorded version. It's of course. Yeah. So as I said, we have the goal, the time, the movements, the units. Everything here is pretty much makes sense. Let's put it this way. Now, there was a question in the beginning of the webinar which I couldn't address about the take profit and the stop loss. So the take profit is 21.178, and the stop loss, where will I place it, guys? Let's make it just a second. This time I'm going to use a calculator, not my head. Plus 0.5. Yeah. It's, oh, of course, 23.179. Yeah. Somehow that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, should be fine. Okay, we're going to try that. So 23.179. Oh, because it moved. Just keeps on messing out the numbers, but never mind. Let's assume that it was the same as it was when we started. Okay, you see 630, just supposed to be 700 if it would be the exact price that we had initially. Okay, so let's suppose that the stop loss will be there, so we have half a dollar down, half a dollar up. Potential loss both sides should be equally. So that means that it's approximately 700. Out of my balance, that's 7%. Hold on, something that, oh, right, 750. We aim for 750. And I calculated 700. Sorry guys, I completely misled you. Because I'm doing so many things at the same time, guys. I make such a silly mistake, but you have to tell me, otherwise I don't notice that. Okay, so we're just gonna increase that by 100. Should take us, oh, sorry. Now it should make more sense. Well, it moved, so it's even more. Well, okay, so let's make it 7.5, and that's pretty much it. Okay, this one is loss, 7.5. Okay, current exposure, 7.5 out of 10,000. And now we're getting down to another layer called risk money management. Now, the person who asked me in the beginning about where to place the stop loss and the take profit, this is one of the ways for you to decide how to do it correctly. Hold on, guys. I have to take some water. Okay, sorry for that. Let's proceed. The current exposure is 7.5 out of 10,000, which, what do you think? Is that a good exposure? Or we need to adjust it a little bit? Oh, I have to change that as well. That as well. There we go. What do you think? Is that okay? Or we should adjust it? Harold, adjust. Okay, so you don't like it. What do you think? Adjust it down or adjust it up? Now, Dor, oh, you're giving confirmation. Okay, now, Dor, you're okay with that. Who else is okay with that? Camilla, way too high. Okay, Camilla. Okay, so you're with Harold to lower it down, to narrow it down. What do you think that is a number that we should narrow it down to? Hypothetically, if 7.5 is too much, so what is a number that you're okay with? 0.5%. Harold, 2%. Okay, so we have 0.5% and we have Harold with 2%. Anybody else? Any other suggestions? Oliver, 5%. Okay, so we have 0.5%, 2%, and Oliver with 5%, which is the closest to 7.5. James, 1%. Okay, well, James, we have James and with 1%, and we have 0.5% from Camilla. Okay, so guys, let's try and minimize it to 2.5%. I guess it's somewhere in the middle between the numbers that you gave me. So 7.5. How do we make it 7.5? 7.5 to 2.5, right? What must we do to make it happen? What needs to happen to reduce the potential loss? 1. I'm going to give you the first way, then you're going to tell me the other way. The first way is to get the stop loss. Who knows that? Oh, there we go, Harold. Excellent. Very nice. So that's your excellent. You were the first. Now, there to reduce your take profit. Unfortunately, it's not one of the solutions, but get the stop loss closer. Okay, what's the other way? Let's suppose I don't want to give up my analysis, because after all, my analysis is, well, pretty good. So I don't want to mess with my analysis. What's the other way to reduce my potential loss? There is another way, which whoever have been perfect. Adrian, I think I think you gave me that answer before in another webinar, but I can't be too sure. But good one. Okay, good job. So the other way, guys, it's quite simple, to be honest. It's just to minimize the lot size, right? That means it's gonna affect also my profit, right? But the purpose here. Oh well, good job then. Good job. Good job. Seems like you've made some nice progress in here. Yeah. So what happens when we do that is basically we just reduce that by third, which means that it's supposed to be hypothetically 500. And now you can see that from 7.5%, it became 220, right? And now potential gain is 220. Well, it's supposed to be 250. Let's make it 250, and the potential loss is 220. Okay, so we reduced it to 500. Everybody understood this? Everybody understood what I did? Oh, let me help you out, Matilda. Extremely confused. I don't understand what happened. It's fine. It's completely fine. What happened, Matilda, is very, very simple. The only thing that we did here is basically we changed the lot size. Nothing too crazy. We just took the 1,500. Maybe I should have Should have done it on the in here. So if this gives us that, yeah, so that means that this needs to be divided by 3, which brings us to 500, right? Units. Does it make sense? You okay, Matilda? Everybody understood what happened here? Yeah, great. Thumbs up. I'm just making sure. Okay. So the way that we did it is we simply changed it to 500. Then the profit went down, but the losses went down as well. Yeah, very simple way to do risk money management. That's basically it. Guys, I've noticed that the time is up and our time to say goodbye. I appreciate everybody who helped me through the audience. You're more than welcome to join us to tomorrow's live Q&A webinar. Yeah, that's it. So the rest of you have best of luck with trading, make a lot of profits, and have a good week in the meantime.